Hi and welcome to the Geekoto CT25Pro Craftsman Carbon Fiber Tripod Review. This is a little tripod which is incredibly lightweight and portable that I got from Geekoto. I got it through Amazon.de. It arrived in 2 days to Belgium, and I've been using it for a couple of assignments already. And I'm really satisfied with it. And here's my little review of how good this tripod is and what its strengths are. So, first thing, this is the package that you get. Straight out of the box, you get this carrying case, which has a little strap, which I'll show later. And the size of it is ridiculously small. Like if you look at the Sony Alpha 7 with my 85mm Batiste lens, then this is like 2.5 times that size. And you got to know that the Sony is a really small portable camera. So the tripod is really great for portable use. This is the pouch in which you get the actual tripod head. So it's kind of a nice addition that you get it into a nice little carrying pouch, and it prevents damage to the head. This is the head itself. So right away, you'll notice it has a big dial, which is used to add friction to the ball. And this is just a regular ball that you can kind of maneuver around a little bit. This is the back side of it. So you see an other dial here at the bottom, and this is used to rotate it so you can do little pan effects with it. It's also incredibly smooth. I had my dad, which he is a professional cameraman, tested out, and he's working with video heads of like €1,000, and he said like he complimented it on how smooth it was. It's really buttery smooth. It's great for video. This is a top-down perspective, so you can kind of see the little leveling ball. So this little indicator helps you to level the tripod and put it really horizontally. There's a little screw here that you can actually remove, and you can replace the head with something else. There's another screw at the side here, this one, that allows you to open up the clamp and then insert the mounting bracket. And I'll show you that in a bit as well. This is the downside of the bottom of the head, and you can see there's a little bit of threading here that it goes right at the top of the tripod. It has little indicators for how many degrees you've turned. Not much else here. This is the carrying case. So as you can see, it's a nice little simple case. It has a adjustable strap. The strap is pretty short, but personally, I like it. I like the way that it's short, and it fits right very closely to my back when I put it on. Mind you, I do think that people who have really broad shoulders will have a little bit more difficulty carrying it around their shoulder, but it's perfectly capable. If this is the widest it goes, by the way. So if you shorten it down, you can just carry it in your hand, and that's fine too. So this is the actual content of the package. So you get the actual tripod in its collapsed state. Normally, you also get the strap, which is attached to the tripod. In this case, I've removed it just to show you separately. This is a strap that's used to carry the tripod around. This is the head. At the right-hand side, you can see a little plastic bag with some other components. And you also get another plastic bag with a membership card of Geekoto, with some pamphlet of product info and an instruction manual. The membership card has a unique code, and you can use that to purchase different Geekoto products at a discount. So the next purchase is always discounted. This is a close-up of the legs, and at the top of the legs, you can see that it has like a little funny orange buttons, and you can press them, and then the legs can be articulated. So they can go from the downward angle to all the way up a complete 180 degrees, and you can even flip them all the way up as well. So that offers for a lot of different perspectives and movement options. Here is a close-up of the legs. You can see that the legs itself is from carbon fiber, which is incredibly light and still durable. And then you have the rings, which are metal with rubber. The rings are really easy to use. You just rotate them counterclockwise to unlock, rotate them clockwise to lock, and you have the legs, which are made of rubber, so they don't damage your floor, and still they're pretty easy to set up anywhere on rough terrain as well. This is a close-up of one of the legs with the Geekoto logo on it. It has the same little orange buttons here. You can also remove the legs with one of the wrenches, which is included if you want to do that. This is a close-up of the detachable monopod leg. So one of the 3 legs is detachable, and you can detach it and remove it and then mount your tripod head with your camera on it and use it as a monopod. Or you can even do something much better, and I'll show you in a moment, and attach a flash to it. And this is how the head looks like. Well, this is how the centerpiece looks like without the head. So the head is removed, and you can mount anything onto this. This is a standard tread. This is a photo of the full tripod, so you can kind of see it's pretty small, it's pretty lightweight. You can see the head, you can see the different components, the 3 legs, and then the center column. The center column can be further extended by unlocking the top of these rings. If you just unlock these, you can extend the center column even further up. So it's really easy. You don't have to just unlock the legs, but you can just unlock the center column. This is how the release plate looks like. The release plate is the thing that you mount on your camera. It screws in at the bottom with this little thread, and then it at the bottom you just tighten it with the wrench here. Normally you would need a screwdriver for this, but Geekoto has done a good job and added this little ring here that you can just use to turn it. So you don't need a screwdriver. This is how it looks like with my camera attached. So this is a Sony Alpha 7 II with a Sony Distagon 35mm 1.4 lens. You can see it also has a spider holster. But the most important thing is that it's pretty sturdy. Even with this, which is a fairly heavy contraption, the lens is pretty heavy and it has a battery pack also. And even then, the tripod is really stable. And even if you put it in a vertical position, it will still remain stable. A close-up of the way that the Sony is mounted on the head with the release plate on top. So you can see the release plate and the little head and a little ball here. And you also see a little ridge, and in the ridge you can flip it vertically. So it's really great for vertical shots as well. In my experience also, if you put it somewhat vertically, let's say 45 degrees, and you lock it tightly, then it will stay put. The Sony isn't a really heavy camera, but the lens and the battery pack are, and still it manages to stay fully in place. It doesn't budge, so that's really great. Here's a close-up of the center column, and at the bottom of the center column is a little hook where you can hook into different elements like a little carrying bag or a little sandbag, and it helps to stabilize the tripod. This is a picture of the full tripod, fully extended with the head, and in a comparison, the Sony Alpha 7 II with the 85mm lens is included as well for size comparison. So as you can see, it's a pretty small little contraption. You can also see how it looks like when you add the strap at the bottom, and it's really easy to just carry around with you like this. It also comes with this little like bolt and wrench, and there's a little extension pole. You'll see in a minute here, like, remember the attachable monopod leg? So basically what you can do is you can screw it off of the tripod and then screw on this little wrench here that you saw just a moment ago. And then you can attach the monopod, the main head onto the monopod leg. So you can use that as a monopod. But much greater is if you attach, this is just the extension pole. So you can use that to convert from a male, this is a male thread to a female thread. You can see right over here at the bottom is a little female thread, so you can screw on different accessories. It's basically compatible with a lot of accessories that way. This is the wrench that you get with it to unscrew it and to attach the legs and the tripod head. You don't actually need this for normal use, by the way, so don't worry about like taking it with you to assignments, because you probably don't even need it. Now this is my little contraption. This little silver bit at the end, you don't actually get it, but it's something that I had lying around. I don't even know where I got it from, but basically what it does is it converts a wide thread to a smaller thread at the bottom. So the bottom is a wider thread and the top, as you can see, is a smaller thread. And then it also has a little ridge here, and the ridge is used to mount flashes. So if you have a strobe, a flash, or if you have an umbrella adapter, like a swivel adapter, or if you have anything that's basically able to put on a regular light stand, then you can mount it on this monopod. So let me rephrase that. Like, you can mount any flash you have on this monopod. So this allows for really creative things where you can mount flashes on the monopod, and if you have an assistant, he can go and he can walk with you, and you can really use this for incredibly portable shooting. So the assistant would have the monopod with the flash on top, and you can just go around and shoot on location and move very, very quickly. If you have an assistant and you're doing wedding photography, or if you're doing a lot of fashion on the go, then this is a really great idea to use. Also, added benefit that it's incredibly lightweight. So this is a final comparison of 3 different tripods that I use, along with, so the Geekoto is a third one. So the top, you can see a Vanguard Alto Pro 283 CT. Apologies for having it upside down. And this is the tripod I used to use before I got the Geekoto. It's a really great quality tripod from Vanguard. It's full carbon fiber as well. It has a couple of different things. One of the notable things is I have a special head there that you can use a pistol grip. I like the pistol grip because it offers you a little bit more control, but I do realize that the pistol grip is really heavy and really large and bulky, and the Geekoto is just incredibly small and really convenient for like on location and hiking situations where you have to walk long distances. Because with the Vanguard, even if I detach the pistol grip here, then I cannot take it with me in the same carrying bag. I have to take a different bag because the grip doesn't fit in the bag. Imagine that. So that's really bad design from Vanguard. But the Geekoto does really a better job because everything fits into the bag. Everything, you see. Finally, there's also the Manfrotto 190X prop. I just included it because my girlfriend, she uses this along with the Hello Kitty logo there. And you can see it's not carbon fiber, it's aluminum. It's also a really great tripod, but it's a lot heavier, and I personally find that I would prefer the Vanguard, but above all I would prefer the Geekoto because the Geekoto is just smaller and more lightweight. One thing that the Geekoto doesn't do, which the Vanguard does, is the center column of the Vanguard is able to, you can pull it out and you can position it horizontally. So that's what the little silver icon there is for. It lets you flip the center column. And the Geekoto nor the Manfrotto have this. So this is a really unique function. Although, to be really honest, I have really seldom used this in professional assignments. So I don't know if I would miss it. It's definitely a nice feature and something that the Geekoto may consider to implement at some point, but it's definitely not necessary for most people. So the final comparison is the one without the heads. And this is really important because here you saw them with the heads, and you can see the Manfrotto and the Geekoto don't have such a big of a difference. It's like 5 centimeters. But if you remove the head, you can actually clap in. So notice how here, the legs are in the normal position, but at the second photo, the legs are in the upside down position. They are collapsed the other way around towards the center column, so the package gets a lot smaller. So in this comparison, there's a definitely like it's 10 centimeter difference between the Geekoto and the Manfrotto. And I won't even mention the Vanguard, which is just huge. So with the Vanguard, while it's a really sturdy and lightweight tripod, it's just incredibly bulky compared to the Geekoto. Now that's the final comparison. I've used it on the Simons, and I really like that it's so lightweight, and it's really well built. I have never had a moment where I thought that this is Chinese, this is plastic. Geekoto is a new Chinese company, which has been around for a bit longer under different names, but Geekoto is a new name that they launched. They are specifically targeting hobbyists and people who are just kind of starting with photography or are not really looking to invest heavily into equipment yet. And personally, I find that for the price point, they're really, really good. So I think you can probably get the tripod for around 150 euros, including shipping from Amazon.de. You can get the tripod, and I'll provide some links for you to get it through that. I think this is a great tripod for anyone that's moving a lot, that's on location, that has to do long distances. This is probably one of the most lightweight and most compact tripods I've ever used. Are there any disadvantages? So I would say the only thing is that what I like about the Vanguard is you can flip the center column horizontally, which you cannot with the Geekoto. The Vanguard also has like little legs that you can screw off. The rubber screws inwards, and then you get these little spiky legs, which is good for a little bit of muddier terrain. Like when you're shooting in grass or muddier locations, it adds to have a little bit more grip. So another thing I found was personally the Vanguard. The Vanguard, it's really easy to know when you've unlocked or locked a leg. With the Geekoto, sometimes you really have to unscrew them all the way before you can actually release them. So even when the rubber rings, when you've unscrewed them, they feel loose, they won't come out right away. The legs, you will have to totally unscrew these rings in order to collapse or extend the legs. You could say it's a downside, but I think it's just a matter of real habit. Like if you're used to unscrewing them all the way, then it's okay. You don't really lose a lot of time. Anyways, I prefer these legs over the Manfrotto legs. The Manfrotto legs, you actually have to unlock every single of these bits individually. So it takes a total of 6 actions if you count it to unlock or lock all the legs. Whereas with the Geekoto and the Vanguard, you only need a single action, a single turn of your hand to unlock all of these rings. So in that case, it's a little faster. All in all, we're seeing very similar results with the Vanguard and with the Geekoto, but it's just a lot lightweighter. Anyways, if you have any questions about this review or about the Geekoto product range or anything you want to know, hit me up. I'm more than happy to reply to any of your questions. This is about done for the review of the Geekoto CT25Pro Craftsman tripod. I'll just show you one more time the tripod in full. And with that, we've concluded the review.